Japan vlog. I've been fortunate enough in my lifetime to travel a lot of places, but nowhere holds as special of a place in my heart as Japan. I am 100% guilty of being a gaijin all over Tokyo for the past few weeks and checking out a bunch of sick guitar shops. So I went to Japan for the first time back in 2024, and I was absolutely blown away by shopping for guitars. There are so many unique exclusive models over in Japan, whether they are vintage things that you can't get in North America, or brands that I've never even seen before, or simply companies that just don't ship to Canada. There is no shortage of things that I want, and I did buy a lot of things this time, but just no guitar, shockingly. So this time around when I went to Japan, we actually just stuck to Tokyo. Last time I did the main touristy thing and went to Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, but this time around we just stuck around Tokyo for 2 weeks. But despite only staying in one city, there is no shortage of very, very cool guitar shops. So much like last time I went, I was on the hunt for something exclusive to Japan, and although I didn't come home with anything this time, I did obviously see a lot of guitars that I had never seen in my life before. So in this video, I'm going to take you along with me to check out some of the guitar stores along the way that I saw, and I'll try my best to list which shop is which on the screen as we get going. Some of them I don't remember the name of, but I will at least give you like the general area where I found them. So the first stop, of course, is Ochanomizu. This is the infamous guitar street based in Tokyo. It's only like one train stop away from Akihabara, so if you're also a giant weeb like me and my wife, you can do both in one day very easily. But yeah, basically Ochanomizu is a street which pretty much only has guitar stores. It's about 2 or 3 blocks of the street that has literally nothing except for, I think, a subway and also guitar stores. So if you only have one day in Tokyo for some reason and want to check out guitars, this is definitely the street to do it. I will say this time around when I went, I was definitely a little bit more disappointed than last time I went. For some reason, it seems like Tokyo in general across all guitar stores, but especially in Ochanomizu, was almost like overrun with Fender guitars this time. So I'm sure for the average guitarist, that's great and awesome. But if you've been following my channel, you'll know that Fender doesn't really make anything that I'm interested in, because I mostly play stupidly low-tuned 6-string baritones, 7 strings, 8 strings, 9 strings, stuff like that. You know, basically just stuff Fender doesn't make. But if you're into more of the classic stuff, there is still tons of that over at Ochanomizu. So first and foremost is Big Boss Super Guitar Shop. I actually bought my guitar last time I was in Japan at one of these stores, except in Kyoto. So anyways, it's a chain of guitar stores that especially focuses on ESP guitars and its sub-brands, which again, there are many exclusives in Japan. There are brands such as Grassroots, Edwards, and the E2 LTD and ESP line. Edwards and Grassroots you pretty much can't find in North America at all, but they are plentiful in Big Boss as well as a bunch of other stores. The second floor of the shop especially is where pretty much all the metal stuff is. So now we're on the high-end floor. There's gonna be lots of even cooler stuff here. Again, lots of brands that we don't see in Canada or the States, like killer guitars. Very interesting shape. Even some different ESP shapes we don't really see much of back home. The model names are also kind of funny, like these are called Exploders instead of Explorers. I guess this is called a Glitter Storm finish. It's like sparkles in flame maple. So cool, I've never seen that before. Very expensive, these are about $6,000 to $7,000 Canadian. But again, that is a pretty good price considering what these are. And like, that's just beautiful. On the opposite end though, for us in North America, PRS are still expensive, but in Japan they're more expensive because here they're imports. So it's always the opposite of what we're used to. Stuff that we're used to seeing for less will be more here. That is made in America or American owned brands. Like Music Man as well is very expensive here in general. And it's kind of interesting, I was talking to a Japanese guitarist the other day who I met, and he was saying he prefers US guitars. And I'm like, that's very ironic because I come here because I want Japanese guitars. So you always want what you can't have. You can also custom order ESPs in this store, which again, is a very uncommon thing. You can like pick your woods, your tops, your finishes, everything in store. And then I don't know how long it takes to make, but they'll build it for you and you got yourself a custom ESP. But anyways, they have lots of other stuff that isn't quite as pricey. Like I said earlier, Edwards Grassroots especially are a much more budget-friendly version of a lot of ESP's most popular models. And as usual, they have a lot of very strange ESP body shapes that you just don't really see come to North America that often. And it's just cool. You should definitely check it out. These ones are cool. It's like a 7-string Schecter Jazzmaster type thing, but it's the signature guitar from an anime I'm not too familiar with. So again, even more, you can see actually the branding on it if you come over here. Like it's actually branded with the anime logo for, I guess, Bang Dream. Again, not one I'm familiar with, but I'm assuming these are another ESP offshoot because they have kind of like the ESP type inlay, but I guess it says the character's name. I could definitely be wrong about that though. But I'm assuming it's these characters here's signature guitars or something like that. One other thing I forgot about till just now is they have things called spot models, which means, from my understanding, they're like super limited runs. Like this color, for example, probably wasn't made till now, and they only made, I don't know, a couple hundred of them. So they're sometimes a little bit more expensive, but even more limited edition and rare. It's pretty cool. Hey, before we move on, I just want to give a massive thank you to the sponsor of this video, Sweetwater, with their gear exchange. So if you don't want to go all the way to Tokyo to find a deal on a sick used guitar, you should definitely go check out Gear Exchange instead. Sweetwater Gear Exchange is an awesome online platform where you can find lots of good deals on used, vintage, or rare gear. So if you have a piece of gear you're looking for, definitely go check out their website, or if you just want to browse and see what you see, go check it out as well. Again, a massive thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video, and the link to that is going to be in the description and the pinned comment below. Right beside Big Boss is a store called Metal Planet. Unfortunately, I didn't get any videos in the store. It is extremely small, but it is actually absolutely packed wall to wall with just pretty much every metal guitar brand ever. I think there was like Ormsby, Jackson, Ibanez, obviously more ESP, lots of stuff in this store. It's very small, but lots to see in there. You should go check it out, and I wish I could show you, sorry. There are also a number of guitar stores in this area that specialize in used gear, so this is where you'll probably find the best deals. Again, I personally didn't find anything that I was after, but there is no shortage of very cool and very, very well kept used guitars in this area. So this is more the kind of stuff I'm looking for. We're getting into like used stuff, so you can find like used Prestige Ibanez's, which are made in Japan, 130,000 yen, which is, I think, just over $1,000 Canadian, which again, unheard of. Would never, ever, ever find that in Canada. In any given store around any given corner, there will just be stuff like this. All these deals on Japanese-made Fenders, just not a brand that I play personally. Yeah, so unfortunately for me, I'm very picky, and I'm always only looking for 7s or 8s or baritone guitars, which there are a lot less of, so I have a lot less options of things I'm interested in. So if you're not like me, there's way more stuff here that you would probably be interested in that I'm totally skipping over, and sorry. Shit. So, we came to this store last time. They have a floor literally called Metal Floor, so we had to come back, obviously. Tons of crazy ESPs immediately. There's like an 8-string with a Floyd, 2 8-strings with Floyd Roses, which is wild. Little pricey, but not that bad, honestly. It's actually very, very cool. Shop exclusive model with like a blue mirror pickguard. That's interesting. You don't see that too often. Not that bad of a price either. Lots of cool Edwards, E2s. I love these with the bare knuckle pickups, I'm assuming. Yeah, bare knuckle Aftermath pickups. They always look sick. Looks like they were like in a battle or something. I saw this one at the other store too, which is interesting. It's a 7-string, but it has a built-in, what's it called? It's like a Boss system where you can like make your guitar sound like a synth and stuff. It's like a Floyd Rose plus that, plus normal pickups. It's a lot of stuff going on, but you can get some cool sounds out of it if you play more than just breakdowns like me. We got a 10th anniversary gem, 1.2 million yen. Some Polyphia signatures, Korn signatures, more spot models that are different colors. So again, you would not get this color in North America at all, even though you can get this model. A bunch of Mayanas, didn't even see this somehow. I've never seen this brand before, but this looks so sick. GT Guitars J7 Baritone Jazzmaster with a sick Swamp Ash finish. It's used. Never heard of this brand before, but that looks awesome. I also found out from my friend Jamie Slays, shout out to him, that there is a secondary location for Big Boss and ESP kind of like around the corner, which I completely missed last time I was in Tokyo. So that was really cool to check out and ended up being actually one of the coolest stores in this area. So if you go to Ochanomizu, don't miss this one like I did last time I was there. I had no idea it was there, and it had some of the sickest ESPs I've ever seen. So that pretty much covers it for Ochanomizu. Like I said, if you only have time to go to one area or only have one day to shop for guitars, definitely make it this street, because it is by far mind-blowing how many guitars are in this little 3-block radius. I can't even fathom the amount of guitars in such a small amount of space. It's truly mind-blowing, and you have to see it for yourself. So other than Ochanomizu, I was able to check out different guitar stores across different areas of Tokyo here or there. It wasn't like a day trip where I only looked at guitars. It was kind of just like when we were shopping for other things, I'd be like, oh, there's an Ishibashi or a different guitar store I've never been to before. So 2 of the standouts were in Shibuya actually, and one of them was called G Club. This one was about 5 or 6 stories tall, and it had 1 or 2 floors that had absolutely insane guitars, tons of really, really cool boutique high-end guitars as well. There was stuff from like Roof, Strandberg, I even saw a couple of Aristides, a couple of Music Mans, lots of really cool stuff in this store, and I had not been there before, so that was a very, very pleasant surprise. Would highly recommend checking that out, and they do have a floor that is exclusively dedicated to metal guitars, which I always appreciate. And then while you're in Shibuya, there is another music store called Ikibe. I might be mispronouncing that, but I actually found out about this one through my friend Hunter at Neural DSP, as well as Jacob Umansky from, you know, Jacob Umansky being one of the most insane bassists on the planet. But he actually had a clinic over at that store. Unfortunately, I missed it, but I did go check out the store after, and it also ended up having some of the best selection of any guitar store that we went to. The whole time we were in Tokyo, I was actually very surprised at how few Ibanez I was seeing, until we went to Ikibe and we came up the elevator and I was like, oh, there they are. This one's such a good deal. The 7-string Polyphia Sig, slightly under 2,000 Canadian. That's a pretty good deal. I really like these two. The Midnight Shade Flat, another finish I've not seen before. Like the way the black Ibanez logo fades into the black is so nice. Pretty, not cheap, but not crazy. Very nice finish. Again, the spot models. The Seafoam Green, got the Pia with the matching blue pickups. Looks so nice. Got the Rose Gold Chameleon Zyphos. So sick. This is like their own shop's 50th anniversary custom model just for this store for 1.3 million yen. Don't think I'll be taking that, but it looks really nice. I think this is the first time in my life I've actually seen Cream guitars for sale. I've only ever seen them at NAMM. It's like made in Mexico, I believe. Very, very cool finishes. It's like 3D. Very sparkly. Some absolutely sick mayonnaise. It's like a metallic finish on top of a raw tone, so it's kind of sparkly, but you can still see the wood grain. Tons of crazy finishes from them. Like, look at the pickups on this, man. Insane. With a price tag to match. Ikibe also has this entire room that's like a PRS showcase floor, and it is so sick. I didn't buy anything, I didn't play anything, but just seeing all of these super ultra boutique expensive PRS laid out in this kind of like art gallery was so sick, and you should definitely check that out as well. One weird thing I noticed all across Tokyo was there were so many Ed Sheeran baritone guitars. It was kind of hilarious. It was almost like every store had one, I swear. It was kind of funny, but they do look kind of sick. We got the double neck Dragon 2005. Oh my god, dude. Insane. Fretless bass. A couple of them. Fretless 12 or 8-string bass. Not my kind of 8-string. Oh my god, yeah, the Dragon inlays are insane. 2020. The fan fret 7-string. So rare. PRS almost never does fan frets. And last but not least, Sakura Miku, of course. The next shop that I checked out was the ESP Craft House in Shibuya. This is basically their flagship store. I know there's a lot of ESP throughout this video, but this one has pretty much everything. It is pretty wild. There's also a museum upstairs I wasn't allowed to film in, but it is very cool and you should definitely check it out. So now we're looking at the ESP Craft House in Shibuya. This is like another awesome finish. We saw this at Big Boss. This like sparkle over flame maple looks so nice. Very expensive. 902,000 yen, but it is very nice. But then you can get like E2s, which again, this would be like $5,000 in Canada. And this is about 3,200. It's like their showroom pieces. Obviously the Miku collabs. Like I said last time too, it's always shocking like how many sub-brands of ESP there are, like Killer, Grassroots, Edwards. I'm sure there's more I'm not even aware of. There's some like headless guitars over there that are only like $500, I guess. That's a thing. We got the Sonic collab over here. Looks pretty cool. Grassroots for 74,000, but then the same one, ESP for 682,000, almost 600,000 more. Obviously it would feel a lot nicer though. I would hope for that price. Edwards, the brand I got last time, they feel really, really nice. Still have like actual hip shot. They're like almost borderline ESP quality, but a lot less money. Basically under $2,000 Canadian. This is like a brand I've never heard of called Vikstrom. I can't find anything about them online, but they're sold in the ESP store. So I don't know if this is like something they were trying, but there's like fanfare 6 or 7 string headless guitars for, was that like $800, $700 Canadian, like super low price. So I know earlier in the video I was mentioning that Fender isn't my thing. However, they do also have a Fender flagship store over in Harajuku. So that is kind of between Shinjuku and Shibuya. So if you're around that area like I was, you should definitely check it out anyways. Even if you're not super into Fender, it is a very, very cool store. And once again, it almost feels more like you're entering an art gallery than a store. Of course, you can buy things if you want, but you'll see what I mean in these video clips, especially on the top floor, which has all the boutique custom built Fenders. They are absolutely insane. I don't even want to know how much a lot of these cost, but it was really cool to see them all. Okay, and that pretty much covers it for this video. Like I said, I didn't end up buying anything this time around, but it was still very cool to look. I feel like prices in general have definitely gone up a little bit since 2024. I feel like this time around, I wasn't seeing as many insane used deals as I did last time. That also might be because last time I went to Japan, I did also check out stores in Osaka and Kyoto, which are not quite as tourist heavy as Ochanomizu or Tokyo in general. So I do feel like guitar stores in Tokyo tend to charge a little bit more because they know that there are so many tourists there and they can kind of get away with it. Even with that being said, even if they have increased their prices, a lot of these guitars are still way cheaper there than anywhere else in the world, and definitely a lot cheaper than trying to buy one and importing it into Canada. So again, it is still a good deal, even if it seemed to me like the prices have increased a little bit since the last time I was there. Also, let's be honest, everywhere in the world has had price increases, so it's not that surprising, tourism aside. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are planning to go to Tokyo, definitely make some time to go guitar shopping. Even if you don't buy anything, it is so cool to see all the exclusive, rare, vintage, just weird stuff they have over there that you cannot find, especially in Canada. Again, a massive thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video, and if you can't go all the way to Japan to Guitar Shop, you should definitely go check out their gear exchange. It's a great online place to find lots of very cool used and vintage guitar gear and just get a good deal. And last but not least, a massive thank you to all my Patreon members whose names are on the screen at this point in time. This video doesn't really apply, but for most of my videos, if you want audio downloads, stems, or a shout out on the screen like these people here, you can find all of that over on my Patreon page, which is also linked in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you soon.